What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, and you are checking out our special Attitude Years series as we cover all things Attitude Era in the WWE. We have moved on from season 1 and 2. We're on season 3 now. Check out 1 and 2 in the archives. We're covering the new millennium right here. And we are on the road to WrestleMania 2000. This is the last Raw is War before Mania. So a lot of stuff is happening. It's a jam-packed episode. And Raw is live on March 27th, 2000 in Houston, Texas. I'm surprised we didn't see Stone Cold Steve Austin, although he is injured. But they're in Texas, so I assume we would have gotten a sight of them. But Linda McMahon comes out to start Raw, and if you last remember, we ended SmackDown, which you could check on the archive. Stephanie McMahon Helmsley slaps her mother across the face. Linda comes out and says, "I'd like to apologize on behalf of my family. Mick Foley deserves a chance to live his dream and compete in the main event at WrestleMania. I cannot begin to tell you what it was like staring into the hateful eyes of my own daughter and then be struck down. It was so hurtful. Stephanie, I haven't been a perfect mother, but I gave you love and devotion. I do not deserve to be treated that way. I demand that you come out here and apologize to me." That's when Vince McMahon comes out. Vince says, while we wait for our daughter, I want to stand next to you to hear her apology. I've been concerned with your actions leaving the corporate arena. What I thought would happen did. Linda says, "You know I can take care of myself." And then Vince says, "Stephanie, if you have the guts, you'll apologize without your degenerate husband at your side." Stephanie McMahon Helmsley comes out on the ramp. Stephanie says, "Let me get this straight. You're demanding I apologize. It was wrong to slap my mother. I'm sorry. If I could do it all over again, I slapped you across the face as hard as I could, Daddy." Vince goes to go after Stephanie, but then WWF champion Triple H comes down on the ramp. Triple H says, "What kind of family did I marry into?" Vince, "I want to smooth things over. You need help, some kind of a counselor. It's time for a new era in the WWF and for you guys to leave." Shane McMahon then comes out. Shane says, "Stephanie, you did a cowardly act on SmackDown. It made me sick to my stomach. You're a spoiled brat. How could you do that to mom?" Triple H and Stephanie, "I will stand against you at WrestleMania. However, I'm with you on having a new era." And then Shane attacks Vince from behind with the microphone. Triple H leads into Vince, and then Linda grabs Shane by his hair. Stephanie holds Linda. Mick Foley runs out and attacks Triple H and Shane. Big Show then comes out. Triple H and Big Show attack Foley. Rock runs out, and then Big Show chokeslams the Rock. Triple H pedigrees Foley, and then Triple H nails Vince McMahon with the WWF title. So as of now, this alliance of Big Show, Triple H, Shane, and Stephanie McMahon Helmsley is in effect. However, WrestleMania is just a couple of days away, and in that fatal four-way, every man is for themselves. Next up, we have a tag match. We've got Chyna and Chris Jericho taking on Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. Jericho calls Benoit robotic crappler. Chyna wants Eddie Guerrero first, but he tags out into Benoit. Jericho applies the walls of Jericho to Benoit. Chyna clotheslines Eddie on the floor. Eddie trips Jericho, and then Chris Benoit gets the pin. After Benoit and Eddie attack Chyna on the floor until Jericho makes the save. And then in comes the other Radicals, Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn. They all attack Chyna, but then Too Cool make the save, and thankfully Chyna is saved. We'll see the Radicals versus Chyna and Too Cool at WrestleMania. Vince says he's going to call out Shane tonight. Linda begs him not to do it, but Vince is adamant about doing so. Next up, we have WWF Hardcore Champion Crash Holly defending against Hardcore Holly. During the match, Taz, the Headbangers, Viscera, the Mean Street Posse, and Kai all try to go after the title. However, Crash Holly is able to hide behind a trash can. He runs inside the arena, locks the door, and escapes. Jim Ross calls him Hardcore Hoopy. He'll defend the Hardcore title at WrestleMania. Shane says that he will not fight his father, Vince, tonight. We then get the Road Dogg taking on Rikishi. Rikishi super kicks the Road Dogg, gives the Road Dogg the stink face, and the Road Dogg just leaves. Road Dogg gets counted out. Rikishi gets the win. We hear from The Rock backstage. He gives a promo. We then see the Hardy Boys taking on Perry Saturn and light heavyweight champion Dean Malenko. Edge and Christian are on commentary. We saw on Sunday Night Heat Edge and Christian trash the Hardy Boys. Well, during the match, Jeff goes for a swanton bomb to Perry. Christian pulls Perry out of the way. Edge spears Jeff, and then Dean Malenko lands a double underhook suplex. And thanks to Edge and Christian, the Radicals defeat the Hardy Boys here. Shane McMahon books a handicap match. It'll be The Rock against Shane McMahon in the Big Show later on tonight. Next up, we've got Kane with Paul Bearer taking on the Eurocontinental champion Kurt Angle. Kane has control for most of the match, lands a flying clothesline, but then Angle low blows Kane and hits Kane with the championship. Angle goes to leave. Kane grabs him, lands a choke slam and tombstone. And the Olympic gold medalist is probably seeing stars at that moment. Vince is backstage. He says The Rock will not compete in any handicap match. He will team up with The Rock to take on the Big Show and Shane McMahon later on tonight. We then see Al Snow with Steve Blackman take on Test. Test has Albert and Trish Stratus with him. Albert attacks Steve Blackman on the floor. That gives Test the opportunity to land a big boot to Al Snow, and Test gets the victory. These two teams will meet at WrestleMania. Stephanie McMahon Helmsley tells Triple H he can be the referee in the main event tonight. We have the Acolytes taking on Bull Buchanan, the Big Boss Man, next. During this match, the Godfather and D'Lo Brown bring out the hose. They pay the Acolytes, and they give them the hose. And basically, D'Lo and the Godfather attack Bull Buchanan and the Big Boss Man. Again, a lot of tag matches at WrestleMania 2000 this year. They will compete out in the main event, too. Linda says that Mick Foley will also referee that main event tonight. So Triple H and Mick Foley will both be referees. We get a GTV segment where we see the Fabulous Moolah talking to Terry. The cat comes in and wants Terry to pay for the dress that she ruined, the shirt that she ruined. Fabulous Moolah attacks the cat until Mae Young shows up, attacks the Fabulous Moolah, and then Moolah and Terry Runnels run off. Next up, X-Pac with the Road Dogg and Tori defeats WWF Tag Champion Devon Dudley with Bubba Ray at ringside. Road Dogg hangs Devon across the ropes. X-Pac lands the X Factor. Afterwards, Kane and Paul Bearer come out. The Dudley Boys hit Kane with a 3D. Tori cross chops Kane. Kane grabs her by the throat, but then X-Pac low blows Kane and tosses Kane over the ropes through the table that Bubba Ray had set up on the floor earlier. Kane is now seeing stars. And we have made it to our main event. Shane McMahon, The Big Show versus Vince McMahon and The Rock, with special guest referees Mick Foley and WWF champion Triple H. Shane lands a Bronco Buster to Vince before The Rock can come out and lay the smackdown on everyone. Vince punches Shane McMahon, knocks him down. Vince tosses Shane to the steps and clotheslines Shane over the announce table, choking out Shane with a cable wire. Vincent spears Shane. Rock lands a people's elbow, but then Triple H lands a pedigree to the Rock. Vince attacks Triple H. Mick Foley applies the mandible claw on the Big Show, and The Rock lands a rock bottom to Shane to get himself and Vince the victory. The Rock is standing tall heading into WrestleMania 2000. We have one more stop along the way, which is SmackDown in San Antonio, Texas. And then WrestleMania 2000 is live in Anaheim, California. A lot coming your way. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.